Welcome back to another short Legacy League where we have 4-color Nadu versus Dimir Reanimator. A huge thank you to the Patreon supporters who are helping the league and the YouTube channel. If you would like to become a supporter, please click on the link in the show notes. Game number 1 is Evan kept 7, he's on the play. Connor Hodgeny kept 7 as well, and he is on the draw. And he is ready to get this game going based on his hand gestures just now. So looking at the 4-color Nadu deck from Connor Hodgeny, we'll see what he has, if he's running anything spicy. So it looks like a pretty stock list, running 2 Birds of Paradise, 4 Delighted Halflings, 3 Nomads, a Sylvan Safekeeper as well to keep everything safe in the Sylvan. 1 Brizzly Bill, 2 Springheart and Tukos, an Endurance, Leovold, a Nadu times 3, 1 Uro, and our favorite Planeswalker, Grist. So he's also running 4 Green Sun Zeniths, his Cantrip package with Force of Wills, and 4 Living Wish. So this must be a, well, obviously it is a Living Wish deck, so that's what he's doing. So we see Evan casting some Ponders, trying to shape his hand up to get ready to battle this 4-color Nadu deck. His Dimir Reanimator deck is pretty stock. I don't think there's anything too spicy about it. Is running 1 Brazen Borrower, 4 Frogs, 4 Trolls, an Atraxa, and an Archon of Cruelty. Running 4 Reanimates, 4 Entombs, Cantrip package minus, actually full Cantrip package, including 4 Brainstorms and Ponders, 2 Thought Seizes, 3 Animate Deads, and 2 Fatal Pushes, I guess, for the mirror. So we'll see Hodgeny here brainstorm and try to decide what he wants to do and how he wants to get this game wrapped up as quickly as possible. The longer you let Dimir Reanimator play with Ponders and Brainstorms, the harder it gets for you. I'd like to comment on Connor Hodgeny's choice of proxying, since we are 100% proxy legal, and he decided to get rid of all of his cards at the last SCG con. So, yeah, we could be looking at this in color, but we're not. Thanks, Connor, for that. And keep on keeping on. So we see Nomads and Core come down, so we've got 1 piece of the combo, and we're going to see an Entomb at Instep. Looks like Connor's going to let that happen, and Archon of Cruelty was put there by Evan. Let's see if he has a way to get that back out of the graveyard into the main, or onto the battlefield, I should say. 3rd Ponder from Evan. Let's see if he finds what he's looking for. It does look like he has an Animate Dead in his hand, but he's not willing to just play that directly into a Force of Will. He's probably looking for some cover if that's going to be the case. He's going to choose to shuffle that up. Didn't see what he liked, and he draws a card that I don't know what it is. So, well, we almost saw him play it. There's a Wasteland. Oh, it's probably a Wasteland. And we're going to see a Reanimate on the Archon. We'll see what we have here. Is it a Fluster, a Brainstorm? It's an emergency Brainstorm to see if Hodgeny can somehow stop this from happening. So, a 1, a 2, and a 3. Takes a long time to decide what he's putting back on top of his library, if he's going to put anything. I think he may have already done that with my quick editing. And we're going to see a Force of Will pitching a Force of Will. So shields are down, and the Reanimate is not going to resolve. Wasteland coming from Evan. Draw a card. And if he has a way to get Nadu into play here, he's going to be looking in pretty good shape. He does have a Green Sun Zenith, but he did just lose that 1 land to the Wasteland. And Connor getting very excited to tap his mana. And that is a Springheart and Tuco on the Nomads and Core. Just kidding, it's probably going to go on the Birds of Paradise. So when he plays a land, he can pay 2 mana to make a copy of it. And I believe he gets a +1/+1 counter on it as well. So that Birds of Paradise is now a 1/2. And the Nomads is just being mad. Alright, he does have an Animate Dead in his hand. It looks like he has another Wasteland as well. So we're going to see the Animate Dead targeting the Archon of Cruelty. We could see him fetch for a Dryad Arbor. We do not see that. We see a Lush Portico. He has an Endurance with a Green Sun Zenith in hand. If he chooses to Endurance the Archon, that's a pretty heads-up move. But he does... he forgot his Sportling token from the bird when he tapped it or some shit. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, when Springheart and Tuco, when a land comes to play, create a Sporling. So endurance and pitching everything. So he is now hellbent against the. So he's hellbent against the Reanimator deck, and he chose to endurance while the Animate Dead was on the stack as opposed to when it hit the battlefield and the trigger happened. So he actually lost his endurance as well. And we got a Ponder. Hopefully he can piece something together here. It's not looking great for him at the moment. He drew a card and plays a Delighted Halfling. So we now have uncounterable Nadu mana if he can find the Nadu. 2 damage coming over from the Endurance because of the Animate Dead gives it a -1, and then we've got a Frog. So now this game might be hopping, and he finds the Nadu off the top, which he knew was there off the Ponder. See you in game number 2.
If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.
Game number 2, Evan's going to be on the play. Both players have kept 7. We'll see him start off with the Thoughtseize, and we're going to get to see what Connor's working with. It's like a bunch of lands, double Encore, Nadu, and Endurance, and a Springheart and Tuco? Is that the name of that card, I think? Yeah, Springheart and Tuco. Okay, so he's going to take the Endurance away from Connor here. So it looks like he's setting up to do a graveyard attack against Connor. We'll see how that goes. For Evan, got a Fetch coming out and a Psychic Frog. So we'll go to our next turn. Lush Portico was the play for Hodgney. And what do we got here? All right, we've got the Springheart and Tuco in play. Didn't want to play the Nomads and Core, I guess, in case a pitch came out, or not a pitch, but like a Fatal Push, something like that. He's going to choose to take 1 damage here, it looks like. And we're going to see an Entomb pitched. Okay, so 2 damage after no blocks. Picked up a Wasteland. Looks like he has another Wasteland in his hand as well. This game could be over before we know it, just based on there being a Frog out. And there's the Fatal Push on the Springheart. But it's smart for him to, I guess, block it at that point. But, he didn't know at the time. Only 1 land with the Lush Portico. He could play out a Nomads. He does have 2. All right, found a second land. So he needs to get a Nomad on the board so he can attempt to Nadu next turn. Connor taking his sweet-ass time trying to decide how he wants to lose this game. And it looks like he is going to play a Nomads Encore. Back over to Evan. Evan does have the Wasteland, so he's able to take him off of that green and blue again. We'll see if Connor wants to block, since he does have an additional Nomad. No blocks. Evan's going to draw, picks up another Wasteland. This game is basically over. Hodgney with nothing to do here. Picks it back up, and let's try it again. No land in hand, it looks like. Picked up some sort of card, and there's another Nomad. He'll probably block the Frog this time, and maybe he'll block the Frog this time. But him not finding a land, and Evan picking up, it looks like a 4th Wasteland, perhaps? We're going to see a Frog jump, and a swing over for 2 again. He's going to draw another card. He's going to pitch the Troll and 3 damage over and another card drawn. It's like, I don't know. This game looks like it's pretty much over here. To draw, and he packs it up. We'll see in game number 3. Going back to game number 3, Connor is on the play on 6, and Evan has kept 7. We'll see start off with a Delighted Halfling, making that an uncountable Nadu if it shows up anytime soon. Thoughtseize, secrets are now known. Got a Nomad, an Uro, and double land. So we can at least see an Uro played next turn. If he doesn't take it, it probably takes the Nomad, though. He does take the Nomad, turning off one of the combo pieces of Nadu, and Evan is down to 18. Hajni still at 20, and we'll see an untap. Probably see fetch, Uro, and then play the land that he also has in hand. So he's ramped out quite nicely, picking up 3 more life. He gets to draw another card as well. So Hajni up to 22. Second land for turn. And now he just needs to find the rest of his combo piece. He's not far off from also... Alright, we got a Ponder. It looks like he's going to be able to get that Uro out pretty quick. He's got 4 cards in the graveyard already. So he needs 1 more, I believe, for the Uro. Yeah, for a total of 5 cards to be exiled. So if he's able to find a fetch land or another cantrip or something along those lines, he'll be in pretty good shape. Evan picking up Force of Will, a Troll, and an Unknown there. It looks like he likes what he sees, and he's going to pick up that Force of Will. Does he have a secondary land to play, or is he in trouble? He does have another land, a Wasteland, which we saw dominate game number 3. Probably just going to pass it over. So, too many lands in play at the moment for Hajni. Alright, so he found his cantrip. He also had another land, so good thing he didn't get wastelanded. We're going to see a Brainstorm here, and that's going to be able to fuel the graveyard for the Uro. And we might see the Uro come out of the graveyard here, and then he'll be able to draw another card and play another land if he so desires. So here comes the Uro, another 3 life gained, and another card drawn, and potential to place another land into play. Force of Will in Hajni's hand, looks like with a Brainstorm as well, so he's able to do something. Cycle of a Troll picks up another land for Evan. And he does have an Animate Dead in hand, so that would be pretty good to use against for the Uro, I should say. Brainstorm coming out of Evan. Fresh 3 cards, 1 back. And what do we got coming here? We've got to reanimate on the Troll, as opposed to using an Animate Dead on the Troll. I guess he wants to fair block the Uro and put the Uro back in the graveyard. For Hajni, that's pretty tough for him. I think he might be better off not attacking with the Uro and letting the Troll have to decide whether it wants to attack or not. Wasteland on the Savannah and back over to Hajni. Just really needs to put the rest of this piece together and he'll be on his way. Deciding what he wants to do, he does want to attack into that Troll, so that Troll will be a fair trade for him. Land for the Uro trigger, and is Evan going to block? He is. Traded off with the Uro. Uro is not able to come back out of the graveyard this turn, because he needs to rebuild his graveyard by at least 4 more cards to get that thing going. Well, here's the first step of it, which is a Brainstorm. So 2 cards in graveyard. If he fetches with the Misty, he could go to 3 cards in graveyard, but then he still won't be able to play the Uro this turn. Lush Portico. Let's see if he likes what he sees. He does like what he sees. Now, Evan does still have that Animate Dead in hand. What do we got happening here? 2 mana into a Living Wish. So, Living Wish, if we can look at his sideboard, can grab a Grist, a Leovold, a Nadu, a Gilded Drake, which actually wouldn't be too bad here. Got an Entomb with an Archon in the graveyard, and now we're about to see that Animate Dead come into play. Force of Will from Hajni, pitching Force of Will. Evan's ready for it as well. And now we've got an Archon of Cruelty, making him discard a card, sacrifice a creature, and lose 3 life, while Evan picks up 3 life and draws a card. So, Archon of Cruelty, not too cruel. Alright, so, see, Nomad's gone, and a pickup from Evan. There's a Ponder. Now the real question is he going to be able to piece something together here, or is this Archon going to take over the game, because he only has 2 cards in hand. No creatures. So, found the green sun. Something he could have done there, he can do, is he can play the Uro here, which will draw him another card, as well as give him a creature to sacrifice. So it looks like that's what Hajini's going to do. He'll go back up to 25, pick up another card, and hopefully be able to beat this Archon out. He won't beat it on combat damage because he's going to have to sacrifice that Uro, but maybe he can get a Nadu going with another piece. So, pass back over, and we're just going to see that Archon come flying in probably. I got a Ponder first from Evan. See if he likes what he sees. Finds a frog and a Fatal Push. Whew, that's good. He can attack first, and it looks like he has another Wasteland in his hand too. So he's going to be able to Wasteland 2 lands out of here. Hitting the Lush Portico would make the most sense because it takes him off of white. And he's got 3 Trops, and it looks like a Bayou. So 2 Wastelands. Probably the Lush and the Bayou takes him off of black and green. Okay, takes him off of double Trop. Alright. Makes it a lot harder for him to combo if you were to find the right card. Because playing any creature out into this Archon is a death sentence for that creature. Double Fatal Push in hand for Evan as well. Any small dorks that get in the way will absolutely get taken care of. So Hajini just checking to see what he's exiled already, plus what's in his graveyard. He is 1 land shy of being able to cast the Uro. Pitches a Nomads and Core, which is kind of tough for him because I believe that's his 2nd or 3rd one. Evan picks up another card. That's a Frog coming into play, and a Bloodstained Mire being put into play as well. Man, this is a beating. That Archon of Cruelty is just going to go coast to coast here, and he shows that he finds the Nadu. He did have the Nadu, but couldn't piece it all together because of the Archon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.